Okay, great. So now we are going to start with pandas, right? Now pandas is a Python library for data analysis. It offers a number of data exploration, cleaning and transformation operations that are critical in working with data in Python. So pandas builds upon NumPy and SciPy, providing easy to use data structures and data manipulation functions with integrated indexing. What is that? We'll see later. The main data structures pandas provides are series and data frames. Okay. So after a brief introduction of these two data structures and data ingestion, the key feature of pandas notebook will cover this thing. Okay. We'll cover descriptive statistics. We'll cover data cleaning using built-in pandas function. Okay. We'll see subsetting, filtering, insertion, etc. We'll see merging data frames. We'll not see the last part. Okay, time series and all. Plus, we'll do a case study also on it. Okay. Now, again, the same thing. The documentation of Panda is excellent. If you want, you can download also a PDF version. It's a pretty big file and it covers almost everything. So I'll just share this link with you. Otherwise, these links are already also in your Azure notebook also, if you have seen that. If you go to your, where is that? Yes, go to your help. You'll find this Python reference, IPython reference, NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, Pandas. Okay. So that's the same link that I have shared with you. Clear?
Yes.
Now let's start with importing the libraries first of all. So we always import pandas as PD. That's a common name. Okay. Now pandas has two main data structures it uses, namely series and data frames. Now pandas is built upon NumPy, right? And NumPy is built upon lists. So these are not like basic data structure. These are all derived data structures in Python, like pandas and NumPy. Right. Now let's start with the pandas series first. Okay. So it's a one-dimensional labeled array. What is the meaning of label? It will have some names, labels, right? So for example, let's create a pd.series like this. Let me show you the help of it first. pd.series and shift tab. Have I executed it right? Yes, now it's executed. See this now. So the first element is the data and the second is the index. Okay. Now let's say I want to save marks of 5 people: Tom, Bob, Nancy, Dan, and Eric. So this is the data that I want to save, and this is the index names. So let me print it now. Now if I print ser, I'll get this. So now this is like a column vector, but this can be heterogeneous. So it's like one column of your data frame. You can think like that. And this has some labels also. So this is not a matrix. This is only a single column. You can see the shape of it now. Sorry. See, this is a 5 comma. It's one dimensional, right? And if you want, you can print the. It's so slow. Yes. Most of the functions of NumPy should work here. Okay. Now that's the index I have. Tom, Bob, Nancy, Dan, and Eric. Okay. Now it can be heterogeneous. जैसे हमारे like we have any age or like we have any string, some rubbish data, garbage data here, so it won't throw an error. So it can be heterogeneous now. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now ser.index will print the index of my data. Okay. Now let's see how do I do indexing of my series. So now we know all these already index which we have defined. Now there can be two kind of indexing here. One is called implicit, another is called explicit. Okay. So one is LOC, which is like location. So now this is an explicit indexing. Means I need to pass the names only, then only I can index it. So I want to, if I want to see how much money Nancy has or Dan has, so I have to use ser.loc Nancy and Bob.
What is the full form of LOC?
I think it's like location or something. Let me just check if there is any full form or not. Yes, location only. So this is majorly explicit location, means I have to give the names of the location, right? So now I'm looking for Nancy and Bob.
So,
So now the outcome is like this. Nancy 300 Bob, D type is object.
sir, in PD series, if I only pass data, means the
Uh-huh.
first square bracket,
Right.
and if I close it,
Yes.
then what happens?
It will
Implicit
create.
indexing हो जाता
या 0 1 2 रहेगी, वो दिखाएगा, वो एक्सप्लिसिट इम्प्लिसिट दोनों सेम
है।
हो
हाँ,
जाएंगे फिर। अभी भी इम्प्लिसिट तो है ही, आई विल शो यू दैट।
Yes.
impli how implicit तो जो ऑटोमेटिक आता है वो ना, here we are giving Tom, Bob, Nancy, Dan, Eric.
राइट, बट अगर
So
मुझे
that
नाम नहीं
means
पता, आई वांट टू सी द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट, दैट्स माय
hmm
इम्प्लिसिट इंडेक्सिंग, राइट? So for that we have iloc, implicit location. So if I pass ser.iloc2, it will give me the third location 0 1 2. So क्या हो
0
जाएगा,
1 2
नैन्सी
हाँ
का
हाँ
स्कोर 300 आ जाएगा।
हम्म।
सो वो तो रहेगा ही रहेगा, अगर आप पास करोगे तो फिर है ना, अदरवाइज वो इम्प्लिसिट तो हमेशा ही रहेगा।
हाँ, so हमने जो फर्स्ट किया है वो एक्सप्लिसिट किया है।
राइट, मीन्स आई नो द इंडेक्स नेम एंड आई एम पासिंग दैट।
हम्म
Okay, if I don't know, I can use the iloc also.
हम्म।
Okay, there is one more
Is
you
it
can.
मतलब
Sorry.
is it similar to that? This is similar to that suppose I have created a data frame
हाँ
with only one column, and
हाँ,
if I don't give row names, so वो डॉलर डॉलर आ जाता है, and when I give row names, then I get the row names there.
डॉलर नहीं आता,
ऐसा ही है ना
0
ये?
1 2 3 4 आता, नंबरिंग आती है।
1 2 3 4 आती है।
राइट, अदरवाइज आप एक्सेस कैसे करोगी?
हम्म।
In R also, if you see, if you don't have row names, it will show 1 2 3 4.
हाँ
Right?
1 2 3 4
So here it will start from 0.
0 1 2 3 4 हाँ
Exactly.
ठीक है, मतलब एरे जैसा।
Yes, now it's very much similar. Now data, as soon as data frames come, things will start looking similar to your R, because this data frames concept has been taken from R only in Python. Okay.
बट इंडेक्सिंग यहाँ पे तो जीरो से शुरू होगा, वहाँ आर में तो वन
वन
से।
से होता है, राइट, वो तो रहेगा डिफरेंस, राइट? Now see this, I can do, this is not recommended, but you can do this also. SCR 431. Okay, so this will give you again the fourth, the third, and the first element. So fourth is Eric, third is Dan, and the first is Tom. Why Bob? Sorry, first is Bob. Yes, 0 1. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I can also check whether certain index is available or not. So Bob in SCR will give me true or false. Okay. Means whether this index exists or not. Sorry, that label exists or not will be better. Whether that label is in my SCR or not, series or not. Right. Let me make it foo again here because I want to show you one more thing. Done?
But we have to make sure the spacing also, no?
Yes. So means you should not put it like this. One space should be there. जितनी ज़्यादा करनी है that's not making a difference.
No, that string, I mean that indexing. That if you put some space between Bob, I mean.
No, it won't work. See, string has to be matched
No,
exactly.
no, if we keep space after B, yeah.
Here.
Before and after inverted comma, I mean.
That's what you're talking here.
No. After Bob, after last B, if we put some space.
Right.
Yeah. No,
Right.
it will not work. Right?
Exactly, because the string is not. No, this also is a part of string, like the space.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it will give you in false.
Okay.
Yes. So it should be exact. There should not be any white space. Right. Now let me show you SCR. Now I want to double the values of SCR. Now see this. If I multiply it by 2, so numbers get multiplied by 2. But you know what happens to string? They get replicated. This we have done in string also. So become foo and bar if there's a bar. We don't have a bar. We just have a foo. Yes, done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oops. If I have to pass two values, make sure I pass it as a list only. Okay. So Eric, and then Nancy. Now what I'm doing is I'm squaring those values of Eric and Nancy. Nice. So see this. So Eric is Eric का पहला वैल्यू क्या था? 500, right? Then it's correct. Okay. So this was the earlier code, not today's. Yes. Done. Yes, done.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's start with the pandas data frame. Now data frames are same concept as we have in R. It's a two-dimensional label data structure. So we'll have column names and row names, and again it can be heterogeneous also. So we can have numbers, we can have strings also. Right. Okay, now let's create a data frame from a dictionary. So now I have a dictionary with two keys, 1 and 2, where 1 is a PD series and 2 is also a PD series. So PD series has values 100, 200, 300, index is apple, ball and clock. Same thing here also. Now let me ping you this. So use this code to create this D. So now D is a dictionary. If you want, you can print it. It will show like this. Now if you see here, for those which has index is, just a second, 1 apple 100. Okay, now leave it. We'll see in data frame. Do this quickly. Done.
Yes.
Now I can, so now the function to create a data frame is simply a D. Sorry, pd.data frame, and just pass the D. pd.data frame, and that's it. So there we have data.frame, here we have pd.data frame. So all this you can get just by putting pd dot and c. Right. I'm saving it in df, and now you can see print df. Now if you see here, so I have, the key has become the columns here, and these my index has become the rows here. So the row names are apple, ball, clock, Cyril and Nancy. Apple, ball, Cyril, clock and Nancy. So all this, they have been merged, right? And whichever values are not available, we have put an NaN over here. Now the type of this NaN is np.nan. Okay. Look, we have not imported numpy here. See this, this is true. So these are my null values.
Okay.
Okay. Now that's the only missing value data type we have in Python. There is no NAs and all. It's only NaN, not a number. So don't get confused here. Okay. So it will be denoted by NaN only. In the R we have NAs, we have NaN separate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here we have simply NaNs only. Okay.
Yes.
Now even if I don't use print, I just use df. That's much better. You'll get in a very formatted way in Jupyter only. See this.
Mhm.
The display is pretty good in Jupyter. Okay. Now I can use df.index to get the index, df.columns to get the column names. Okay. Now what I can do is like I'm creating a data frame again from a dictionary, but I'm only choosing the index. So I just want the values for Dancy, ball, and apple, not all the 5 indexes. So I'll get only those 3 now. Do this quickly.
Done till here.
Done.
Yes.
Same thing you can do for columns also. So I pass this index, I pass column 2 and 5. But in my D, I have only 1 and 2. So it has created a new column 5 and filled all the NAs here. Do this quickly. Yes, done.
Yes.
Now we can create data frames from list of Python dictionaries also. So now create a list which has 2 dictionaries. So one is Alex. Sorry, first dictionary we have Alex and Joe as the key, and then we have Emma, Dora, and Alice. Yep, done. Now if you see, it's simply pd.data frame of data. So all the keys will become my columns. Okay. And whatever values I have will become my rows now. So I have Alex, and so since I have two dictionaries, I will have two rows here. So with Alex, I have value of 1, but there is NaN because Alex is not here. Similarly, Alice also is here but not here, so 20 and NaN. Similarly, Dora also. If I put Dora here also, let's say. Now see this. So I'll have two values here.
Himanshu,
Go ahead.
it will always take the index in ascending order only, right?
Yeah. Yes, done.
Yes.
So this we have seen. Okay. Now see this. Again, I'm passing the data with the index orange and red. So what it will go, it will assign the index to the row names. Orange and red. Okay. And if I put these columns, I'll just have these columns only. So only those columns will be selected. Yes.
Your turn.
So this is my data frame here. Print the one we created earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So इसको next class से करते हैं. Leave it. So we'll start from the basic data frame operations in the next class. Okay, and then after this we'll do a case study using the movies data set. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
how we can set auto save option by default on
Sorry, come again.
in Jupyter? How we can say set auto save by default?
आप क्या सेव करना चाह रहे हो?
ये अपनी पाइथन की फाइल py ये वाली pynb
ऑटो से तो इसमें डिफॉल्ट ऑन ही रहता है. अगर चेंज
नहीं आ
करना
रहा
तो
है ना मेरे से.
ओके, तो उसका फिर आई थिंक इसकी कोई और एक सेकेंड, जस्ट अ सेकेंड. परसेंटेज ऑटो सेव देखना एक बार.
यहीं पे टाइप करके रन करूँ. auto save. No.
एक सेकेंड. ये कर दो परसेंटेज ऑटो सेव 180 तो एवरी 180 सेकेंड्स करेगा वो.
हाँ. ओके, इससे अभी सेट हो जाएगा ये.
एक बार ट्राई करके देखो होता है कि ये थोड़ा कम, इसको सिर्फ 10 सेकंड करके देखो, फिर देखो चलता है क्या.
ऐसे डिफॉल्ट ऑटो सेव हो जाता है जुपिटर में. मेरा आई
हाँ,
नॉट सेट बट ऑटोमेटिकली.
उसका नहीं हो रहा ना, इसलिए वो दिखते हैं. चलो
यहाँ तो ये जो हमारा नंपाई का जो केस स्टडी है ना, या तो फिर उसमें बहुत सारे इमेजेस है, इसलिए वो मेरा वो सेव ही नहीं हो रही है वो फाइल. एक
हाँ,
पर्टिकुलर
वो
पॉइंट तक
सकता है,
वो सेव हुई, उसके बाद हो ही नहीं रही है.
वो हो सकता है. उसका साइज बहुत बड़ा हो गया हुआ है तो.
अच्छा, इसके आउटपुट विंडोज क्लोज वगैरह करने का कुछ नहीं है क्या दूसरा?
ये वाले
हम्म.
नहीं, आउटपुट विंडो क्लोज नहीं कर सकते. आप चाहो
क्योंकि
तो.
इमेज
हाँ बोलो.
जैसे हमने अभी इमेजेस तो हमने जब जब प्रिंट कराई तब तब लोड हुई ना वो. तो अगर हम आउटपुट वाले बॉक्सेस क्लोज कर लेंगे तो शायद साइज कम हो जाएगा तो
हाँ, आउटपुट
सेव हो जाए.
क्लोज नहीं होता है इसमें. ये हो सकता है कि आप सेल को स्किप कर दो, रन ना हो.
अच्छा.
ओके, बट ऐसे क्लोज करने का कुछ नहीं होता है इसमें. और ये कर सकती हो कि उसका आउटपुट ना आए बाहर, वो सब कर सकते हो आप.
ओके.
बट ऐसे क्लोज नहीं कर सकते यहाँ पे आप. हाँ,
ओके. मैं कर यहाँ वो वाला फाइल सेव नहीं हो रहा है ना, नाम है वाला केस स्टडी वाला इमेज. ठीक है. या. ऑटो सेव फेल्ड आता है मेरा नाम नंपाई के केस स्टडी.
उसको छोड़ दो, इसको पांडास वाले को करके देख लो.
पांडा वाला हो गया, वो हो रहा है.
हो रहा है ना, आई थिंक नंपाई की
अभी
प्रॉब्लम
मतलब
है
ऑटो
मेरे
सेव
को.
किया ना अपन ने.
हाँ.
हाँ, तो वो हो रहा है. लेकिन ये
हम्म.
नंपाई का केस स्टडी नहीं हो रहा है.
नहीं, उसका साइज ज्यादा हो गया होगा या तो. या फिर इसमें वैसे कर लो, एक सेकेंड. सेल 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 टाइप. नहीं, वो भी नहीं होगा उससे. ऐसा करो प्रणाली,
हाँ.
इस पे क्लिक करो कर्नल पे. इससे आपके
हाँ.
सारे वेरिएबल्स लॉस्ट हो जाते हैं.
ओके.
तो आपका कोड तो रहेगा बट आपका सारा.
रिस्टार्ट कर दूं?
हाँ रिस्टार्ट कर दो, फिर उसके बाद आपका हाल सेव हो जाएगा। ठीक है,
हाँ ऐसे देखते हैं।
रिस्टार्ट उसके बाद आप वो कर सकते हो उसको, फिर से ऑटो सेव हो जाएगा आपका वो।
नहीं, फिर से वही एरर आता है, ऑटो से फेल्ड।
उसके बाद भी कर्नल रिस्टार्ट करने के बाद भी
हाँ
एक बार को यहाँ से सेव भी नहीं हो रहा क्या इस बटन से भी?
वो, हाँ वहीं से कर रही थी मैं, वो कर रही थी वहाँ पे, ऑटो से फेल्ड आ रहा था।
छोड़,
अभी मैंने उसको
जाने दो
कमांड से
उसको,
कर,
मैं नोटबुक में दे दूंगा
करने दो।
अपने।
हाँ आप आपकी, हाँ फाइल शेयर कर देना।
ठीक है, ओके,
ओके।
ओके हिमांशु।
थैंक यू, सी यू नेक्स्ट वीक। या